Hello, all. I'm listening to Lisa Wiedemann, carnivore doctor, radical. All right. I hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful Sunday. Where are we? The 22nd December. It is another awesome, amazing day to see it. Dr. Kiltz Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, Kiltz Mighty Tribe. I don't have my CNY fertility because for whatever reason, it wasn't going to let me. Let's see. Do we have sound? I think we're good now. There is a mute button on my new mic. I didn't realize it, so sorry about that, brothers and sisters on my YouTube, Facebook. Let's see. Michael Keene is in the house. Lizzie, Tawny, Mimi from Vienna. Coffee for audio. I'm getting it, my brother Rahman. Lizzie. Tawny, got me. Mimi from Vienna. Awesome. Let's see. From the UK. Thank you for being here. Let's see. It is Vitalius Sivakovas. Rahman again. Black and white, cow pattern, Kiltz. Okay, so I've got a new painting for my amazing artist friend Erica Arntz. Really grateful to her for sharing her sparking energy. And I'm going to get in my studio today and do some painting. And and you can get Kiltz Cups for the holidays. There's lots out there. Montreal, Kimsey SY, Sober Carnivore, Carl Phillips, Colleen from Arizona. How you doing? Thank you. And I appreciate everyone. Just a hey, Kiltzy, how you doing? From wherever you're at in this world, just be you, enjoy life, take some risk, go on a carnivore cruise with Lisa Wiedemann. Just go to Carnivore Doctor, she's now a travel agent, so that's cool. Let's see, black and white cow pattern. I've got to do some black and whites. I'll do that, Rockman. Let's see, is the audio back? Audio's back. Cool. All right, wait a minute. I did move around a little bit. Let's see, did I get I got my Michael Keane pick, and I've got a little. All right, just a quick little jingles from a Kiltz on. This is my what is it? My Taylor guitar. I've been playing guitar for a while there, but I got to practice my singing. You got to keep practicing and practicing. Lizzie, Mia. See, I'm back. Am I back? I think I'm back. Let me go down to the bottom and make sure. Let's see. Nice jab, Erica, Lizzie. Maria, awesome. Mia, buenos dias, blessings from DC. Going with the cruise on Lisa. I am not a cruise guy, and although I'm going to look at my times, and maybe I'll show up if I can get my co-pilot Travis or Mike Zella to give me a little ride to the Bahamas, and I'll stop in with my brothers and sisters around the globe, right? Lizzie, awesome. Yes. Sabrina, you're going to be in CNY December 26th for my transfer. I'm not working in Syracuse this week. I'm in Sarasota for the week. Awesome. Scotty Balcom, how you doing? Lucinda, also former anorexic, diagnosed by endocrinology with hypothalamic hypothyroidism. It's all secondary to goitrogenic foods. We're damaged by a goitrogenic diet, which is dead freaking lead. Let me see if I can download this one. Always trying to put some good stuff out here for everyone. We got to get our food list of the goitrogenic stuff. I'm going to print it out. This is really a good one. Let's see if I can get this printed. Copy image. Oh, you guys are amazing. And listen, we're all doing this together. It's not easy. It's hard. Kiltz went carnivore. Let's see. There's my goitrogenic food list. Let's see if I can get a quick print. Print. Let's see. Print this puppy. I know I can do this. Well, maybe it's going to let me do it. Maybe not. Let's see. Get back to oh man, it's not letting me do it easily. There we go. I found what I need. Editing, copying, printing. Got it. You guys are amazing. This beautiful day in paradise. We've got troubles, challenges, hardships. That's what life is about, because if you don't have hardship, you don't build a strong ship. Rock on, my brothers and sisters. Let's see if I did send a link, but I don't know if my good friends were able to come in or not. But if not, and don't forget, Healing Humanity, Chicago meetup with Lisa Wiedemann, Dr. Hampton, and I will be there on the 11th. And go to Healing Humanity for the time of your life. And also, there's one on the 4th, Healing Humanity, Tempe. Let's see, Harkins, Tempe Theater. All right, here's the stuff on the goitrogenic foods, and look at it carefully. It's an amazing list. Basically, these are all the healthy foods we're told to eat, and basically, I'm realizing that I was poisoned for years until I finally went carnivore at 55. I'm almost 70. I've never felt better, and you gotta just. Listen, the carnivore community welcomes all brothers and sisters, vegans, vegetarians, Mediterraneans, pescatarians, and carnivores. It doesn't matter. You're welcome. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Malcolm. Hey, Malcolm, how you doing? Malcolm's in the house. All right, Lizzie, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Morning, happy Sunday. Monica Butler, Helene Davis from Nevada, Reno, Rex, good morning to you. Enjoy your creative day. Absolutely. Let's see, Spirit Junkie. We're the junkies of life, right on. You got to love life, right? From the beautiful, unpopulated plains of Kansas, Michael Bear. Hey, Michael Bear, how you doing? Again, questions, comments, ideas. And Dr. Taz is in the house. Hey, Doc, how you doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doctor, you're a Herb, Lincoln Hawk, Herb, I guess so. Mark McKinley, my brother at Bighorn Mountain Farms, where you can get amazing Wyoming Wagyu with a Kiltz 15% discount. Dr. Kiltz, hey Kiltzy, in those things will get you at patient I mentioned above. Lucinda, anorexic diagnosed endocrinology, hypothalamic. Shannon from Buffalo, good to see you. Cheerful, constant. Merry Christmas to all from AZ2, Arizona. I belong to a group of restorative reproductive medical medicine practitioners. In a patient, former anorexic, I told them try carnivore all day long. No, don't try. I want you to do what you are, which is a lion or an eagle, and we are simply the lions of life. Wait a minute. Okay, I've got my beautiful friend, Dr. Nelson Vazquez in the house. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right.
Let's see. I've got to mute this other one. I think you guys.
Doing okay. Trying to
All right,
get
hold on.
rid of the double.
I got to do this. This is going. I think this is
tab.
going to work. You can
Okay,
talk.
here we go. Good morning.
Good morning, all. How's it going?
I'm doing all right. You didn't give me time for hair makeup.
You don't get time for hair and makeup, my brother. Not at all. So now, some people, if you're on Instagram or Kiltz Mighty Tribe, you can listen to Dr. Vazquez. But if you want to come over to our YouTube, Facebook, then you could see his beautiful, a beautiful made up hairstyle and face. So thank you again for being here, Dr. And if you guys have any questions for Dr. Vazquez, another carnivore MD who has gone over to carnivore after. Tell us a little bit about your suffering, Dr. Vazquez, just briefly.
Oh, it would take too long, but reverse hypertension, lost over 110 pounds. My A1C is 5.4. Resolved plantar fasciitis, nail fungus, esophageal reflux. I'm off 7 prescription medications, off 300 units of insulin a day, so I could eat my regular diet, and the additional apple fritters and other stuff I should not have been eating. I wasn't listening to myself because I've been preaching low carb for over 30 years. This week was my graduation anniversary from medical school 40 years ago. But I wasn't listening to myself, and I have to admit that a patient this week told me you should have been ashamed of yourself. I said, well, I am sort of, but now I am listening. Still having a little bit of uh, Dr. Whitman called me out on the coffee. I don't hear you, Doctor.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I've got this very sensitive button on this mic that I just set up. I'm still a little bit of an idiot trying to figure it out, but wouldn't you say of all the things we've ever learned in science and medicine, this is the game changer?
Well, it definitely is because I'm very interested in reversing disease. Why Why? Because over 90% of us are metabolically sick. Only 7 to 10% can truly claim that they are metabolically healthy. The rest of us are metabolically sick, and as a physician, I've always been interested in making you feel better. So I'm interested in reversing anything that's possible uh, that's metabolically related, and this is more powerful than any medication to have. I have more. I have 10, 12 different groups of medicines to treat diabetes. There are probably hundreds of prescriptions I've written for different things for diabetes, and they're still available. Um, I think I manage my patients' diabetes very well. This is more powerful than anything I can prescribe.
Yeah, anything we've ever learned in medicine, this is the game changer. And I personally suffered arthritis, psoriasis, migraines, bowel bleeding, anxiety, depression, and I found low carb Atkins, then paleo, then keto, and then carnivore, which is really the concept is high fat. Would you say that probably is one of the most important things?
It's definitely a low carb, high fat diet, and you a lot of people have probably learned when you eat too much carbs and fat together, especially the refined oils that they put in fake food. That's a deadly combination. Low carb, high fat, medium protein. Basically, that's the key.
Now, I know you were on with Dr. Lisa Wiedemann just moments ago, and she's been sharing so much. And there's some carb cruises going on. There's the meetups, and it really is important for all of us to sort of get a chance to listen and learn from each other in this. Let me ask you a question. Sarah Sautre is asking about red meat and estrogen dominance. And can you tell us what toxics come from red meats? And do you think red meat sort of creates this estrogen dominance that may affect women and men and suppress their hormones?
You can probably talk to that better than me. You are the master of infertility and endocrinology, okay? But uh, just like you say often, just eat the fatty meat. How does that work? Uh, I like to tell when I have a patient, uh,
Oh, we lost Dr. Vasquez. Hopefully they'll come back here. Let's see. There he is. He's come back.
I am back.
Ah.
I, I like to tell patients when I have a patient with PCOS what the problem is. Sometimes it's very simple to point out because either not explained to patients very well or somehow patients are not aware. But when you have high levels of insulin, it interferes with the conversion of testosterone to estrogen. That enzyme in the middle that helps with that conversion, I believe, is a aromatase inhibitor. And insulin shuts that down. Testosterone accumulates, and estrogen is not produced to satisfactory level, right? Now, what caused the whole process, you like to say, is blame caused ovarian sickness, right? Uh, and so this is the nitty gritty of how uh, it works as far as the hormones is concerned. Testosterone, by the way, needs cholesterol to be formed. And estrogen needs testosterone to be formed. When you interfere with that, you mess up your hormones. Meat just helps. helps lower insulin. It helps, to me, I discovered this only in the past couple of years. Red meat is anti-inflammatory, actually, not inflammatory like people claim.
So the anti-inflammatory nature of fatty meat is probably the best thing, and it's the fat that is the most anti-inflammatory. Lean meat and protein poisoning may be a real thing, and I'm just wondering if a lot of those people on the carnivore side may not be getting the real best benefits because they're still eating lean meat and not eating the fatty meat. Do you have any comments on that?
You put it beautifully all the time, so I don't have anything to add.
Right. I mean, this is it, and I think that's why. Any comments on how frequent meals? Do you think frequent meals or less frequent meals are probably something we should look towards?
Definitely the frequent meals. That thing of eating, I've had people, even, I hate to say, even medical professionals, nutritionists. I hear this not all the time because some of them are coming uh, to this side. I want to say, I don't want to say the derogatory things, but you shouldn't be eating all the time. And I keep hearing, oh, you have to eat 6 times a day and every 3 hours, every 2 hours to maintain your metabolism up. No, you shouldn't be eating that way. First of all, for thousands of years, people were not eating that way. I still remember, even though I look 39, I still remember, I'm old enough to remember that if you came from school and you want to have a snack, your mother would say, no, you will ruin your appetite. Well, it was true, number one. Number two, go out and play and come back for dinner and have your dinner. Uh, I'm I personally now eat once a day or twice a day sometimes. Uh, can't physically eat more frequently like that because if I want to have meat on every meal, then I don't process food very well, thanks to one of those GLP-1s that I use.
All right, we lost our good doctor for a second on his audio. Audio's out on this side. You know, we're going back and forth. I can't hear you now. I lost you. Is it me? I love this. Let's see if I could go microphone.
I can hear you, doctor.
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, great. We got Malcolm. So maybe try hit maybe you hit the mute button too, like I did. Salt and electrolytes. Do you recommend what portion of fatty meat? Maybe go off and then come back, Dr. Vazquez. Try that. We got you. Malcolm's here. Mia. First Crew celebrating 50th birthday. Awesome. I may show up on Lisa's, one of them. Testing. We don't have Dr. Nelson. We lost his microphone. Tina, hello from San Diego. Lizzie, hello to you. I love dry aging meat. I just put it in the refrigerator and let it dry age naturally, uncovered, make sure air circulates around it, salt it up. That's the way I do it the best. Let's see. Mary Lou Hayes, how you doing? Thank you. Retail my ride. Love it. I love retailing my ride. All right, let's get Dr. Nelson.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. It's one of those weird days where it's like they kick Kiltz off and
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Awesome. Melbourne, Florida's here. Father of United Carnivore. So
Hello,
yeah.
Father. I feel like I'm in a confessional.
Yes. And over this, maybe you could give some tips on what you think. I mean, I say, treats are from time to time. And I do my treat from time to time. And over the holidays, I'm going to visit my daughter and her mom and her husband. And okay, I might have a cookie, cake, or ice cream bite or two. But I did bring lots of fatty ribeyes and meat. So that's what I'm going to focus on. But some people
Well,
can do it, some people can't. What do you think?
some people can, because once you start, then you might not be able to stop yourself. So if you think you can, and occasionally it's okay, if you fall down, just get up and get back on the horse. Uh, don't lose your shirt over it. But
Yeah.
if
And
you
I think,
find yourself in a roller coaster, and Dr. Wiedemann likes to talk about this a lot, uh,
and you have
is
to sign up for the cruise, right, Doc?
I'm sorry,
You have to go on her cruise.
we'll see.
Lisa Wiedemann's doing a cruise. Don't lose your shirt over it. Bacon Girl 51, Brad. Awesome. Thank you. Meeting you in Raynham at the Healing Humanity event last week. I was in London. Genuine 44 Sux 44. Get more fat and more fasting, right? Will stop my hair loss. What? So, what? I mean, can we stop aging? Okay, we lost Dr. Nelson's voice again. I don't know if you're like me. Remove and bring back. Last I looked, we can't stop our avian, right? Houston location. Houston is working on it with Asia. McKellen with Dr. Brown, Esteban Brown. So we're really, really, really working to get our locations in Nashville, Tennessee, Houston, McAllen, Irvine. Working on the Twin Cities in Minnesota. That's working on that one also. We have Dr. Rack testing. It's all technical difficulties, and we're okay with that, right, Doc? Brother Ray and Irvine, awesome. Sabrina Hussein, how you doing? Lining thickness to be transfer 7 millimeters or greater. On certain cases, we allow 5 to 7. Some people just can't get there. Happy Sunday from Nelson, Lisa, and Barb. Thank you. Let's see. Sorry, I missed your guitar. All right. Well, Dr. Nelson is working to get his sound back, and I'm going to get him back on here if I get my glasses on straight.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, my brother.
Okay. I figure out I was doing something here. I'm usually on my phone, but this is my work computer, and
So let's see, where are we at? We got some question. Gratitude. Good luck, Lizzie. Please play some more. I'll get back to the guitar. Let's see. The fasting. So I mean, I do a 2 to 3 day fast once a month. I've got a 5-day fast coming up in January. It's hard. Any thoughts on fasting, Dr. Vazquez? More than one day, 2 to 3 days, 5 days. Is it something people should like not do, or do you think it's sort of natural for humans?
first of all, the last thing you said is true. It's natural for humans. We've been fasting for thousands of years, whether out of necessity or out of some people's religions. I mean, fasting has been incorporated into all kinds of different religions throughout history. Okay, Bible mentions a lot of people, including Jesus, who fasted 40 days. And you thought that was hard? Well, it's a little bit hard, probably at some point. Probably the hardest thing to start fasting is the first day or two, not the continuing fasting. Longest I've done is 5 days, and probably first 24 hours. You have to really have a lot of will into it, but uh, it becomes easier.
Over time and it's therapeutic and it's spiritual. I mean, I think it's one of the most important things we should all be doing is eat less frequently, do more 1, 2, or 3 day fasting. Is it required? It is not. But when you could do 5 to 7 days, oh my God, it's like even more amazing. And have you ever seen anyone that was not on a drug to reduce glucose have a hypoglycemic event that they were severely sick or died because they were hypoglycemic?
No, definitely not. Your body will take care of its glucose needs. Look into, if you haven't already. Anyone listening here probably has heard of Dr. Jason Fung. He is great on that subject. Several books. You can help it with reversing all kinds of metabolic problems. Reset your body. Nobody's going to die from not eating for 8 hours because you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and you haven't had anything to eat. Now, I remember in my own church, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, there was a lot more fasting. Nowadays, nobody wants to fast because
Nobody,
they
nobody.
are addicted to eating carbohydrates. And basically, when you eat carbohydrates, you promote your own hunger. Eating carbs makes you hungry. Why? Because eating carbohydrates increases your blood sugar more, increases your insulin more. Whether you're diabetic or not, you will secrete that insulin to handle the amount of carbohydrates, and then on its way, the glucose on its way down is going to make you hungry. And so the old way of treating hypoglycemia, for example, oh, you have to eat every 3 hours.
Yeah.
No, just don't eat carbs. Reduce your carbs to as low as you can, and you will not having that roller coaster. Uh,
And I generally recommend just stop eating, reduce plants, add more fat. And there was a comment on my Instagram about a carnivore 4 months trying to improve sperm quality, and it went down. And I think one of the biggest problems are so many carnivores are eating lean meat. They're cooking it. It loses all the fat. We're not eating the fat. Like a stick of butter a day is probably what we should eat. I imagine 50,000 years ago, we weren't like waiting for the cook. We were killing and eating, and you ate the fat because the fat has the fittest molecules, the minerals, the vitamins, and raw is probably better than cooked. If you look at Pottinger's cats, you'll see that cooked meat is harmful for cats, but raw meat is good for cats. So I think that's probably something that, it's not our standard. It's not our usual customary. We're really, what do you think, Doc?
well, I hate it when I buy a picanha steak and they have trimmed all the fat.
Yeah,
the, the butchers, and we're used to, having, oh, trim all the fat away because it's bad. No, there is archaeological evidence, and we won't go into those details, but people eat the fatty parts, used to at least, whether they, fire was discovered many thousands of years ago. So, people did cook, but when they wanted to eat right away, I'm sure they ate it raw.
and interesting. So she says, or her husband, his wife says he's been eating ribeye and ground beef and have butter stick. And again, it's maybe it's raw butter, and it was actually raw butter, raw milk, and raw meat versus cooked beef and pasteurized milk. So again, for some people, we may be more sensitive to these things, but there are some things that even carnivore doesn't fix. Would you agree?
Yeah, and sometimes we have infections. I see a question there about H. pylori. Sometimes we have infections, and you have to use antibiotics. Are there any natural remedies for H. pylori? I'm sure there are plenty, but it's a very fastidious bacteria to get rid of. Sometimes you have to use antibiotics. If you're dying in a hospital from pneumonia, I'm not going to tell the doctor, "Hey, don't give me antibiotics because it's going to kill my microbiome." Pump me full of it, save my life. Uh, but yes, carnivore is not going to heal everything.
We have Dr. Lisa Wiedemann's in the group on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being here, and again, follow
Hello, Lisa,
carnivore. What's that?
Dr. Wiedemann. I said hello, Dr. Wiedemann.
Yep. I mean, again, like Dr. Vazquez and Dr. Wiedemann, there's so many people out there putting out their ideas and content for free to help you. And if you join their groups, which helps fuel the mission of what they're doing, I think that's one of the most important things. And if you think about the amount of money we spend on healthcare, our insurance premiums are outrageous. And, United Healthcare, many of the insurance companies, maybe there's an inkling of them that wants to help people, but it just seems to me that it's the money which becomes the master, and rather than the men and the women, and really the reason we're here. So these carnivore keto groups are really helpful, and I know for so many people who worked on keto, like myself and paleo before that, and Atkins, carnivore game changed everything, and that was the craziness. Dr. Vazquez, maybe you could talk about this. Sarah Sautre on the Mighty Tribe could talk about cholesterol. My doctor is shaming me for my diet because my cholesterol is LDL 339, HDL 88, triglyceride 78, total 452, insulin resistance 0.68. My doc is scaring me.
All right. So when you're in the doctor's office, all they want to do is reduce your risk of dying, having a heart attack, having a stroke, having cancer, having all-cause mortality, right? And whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, we were all trained on this high cholesterol. It's going to kill you. It's like Dr. Dr. Aries Westman talks about, I'm on the edge of the precipice because the cholesterol's a little high. Uh, there doesn't seem to be any additional risk when your LDL is high if you're on a low carbohydrate diet. I'm not going to say don't worry about the cholesterol. I know people, uh, if you're listening to Dr. Kiltz, he's going to tell you stop measuring, right? If you want to measure, then don't guess. Check it out. Uh, do your research. But I just heard two very good numbers there: high HDL, low triglycerides, and those two are markers of metabolic health. Because if metabolic syndrome is five things that, when they are not normal, increase your risk of everything, basically. And
Yeah.
that is, your blood pressure needs to be normal without medications. Your blood sugar needs to be normal without medication. Your waist needs to be less than half your height. So if you're 6 feet, that's 72 inches. Your waist needs to be 36 inches or less. And high triglycerides and high triglycerides is bad. Low triglycerides and high HDL are part of those five things I just mentioned, right? 4 and 5. Uh, those numbers seem very similar to what seems to be a lean mass hyper responder. Studies are going out. There is not a lot of evidence that we can cite based on good studies about these things, but so far it's looking very, very good with the lean mass hyper responders, right? So when you look into it, the problem with the LDL is that we are concentrating on the wrong thing. Having a high LDL might be associated with the risk of cardiovascular disease. When you look at hazard ratios, that's 1.38. Do you know what is about 1100% higher? About almost 11. It's diabetes. Do you know that hypertension, obesity, and activity have higher hazard ratios when correlated to cardiovascular disease than LDL cholesterol? Do you know that high triglycerides have a higher hazard ratio than LDL cholesterol? But many years ago, companies were able to produce medication and sell it, and they were the biggest pushers of, well, this medication lowers LDL cholesterol, must be great to reduce
Yeah.
mortality. And I always like to give that example because I've looked into the numbers. One of the particular medications, all of them are the same, but I'm going to give you specific statistics from the landmark study that brought one of the medications to market. Okay. On the study they did, thousands of people on both groups with medicine, without medication. The incidence of cardiovascular event was 3% on the group without the medication and 1.9% in the group with the medication. That means I believe it was over 10 years, thousands of people, every 100 persons, every 100 people in the study, 3 of them got heart attacks if they were not on medicine, heart attacks or strokes. I think it was a mixed cardiovascular event, and 1.9 with the medication. So that was a reduction of 1.1% mortality. You have to put 100 people, more than 100, but about 100 people on the medicine to be able to save one from a heart attack. Those are the statistics directly from the medication.
So what you're saying is ultimately, so cholesterol is critical for your brain health, your hormone health, your vitamin D production, and everything. And I'm just wondering, so the American College of OBGYN says red wine is good for pregnant lactating women. Okay, we know that's not true. So if they tell us that, what else of what they're telling us is not true?
Well, the
Of
American
all of
Diabetes
that.
Association says apple pie is good. Just take your medicine and eat your apple pie.
But the authorities are the government, the pharmaceuticals, the medical profession. I mean, in a sense, we've been looked at as the authorities in your health, and I think what we've learned over the years of practice is that what we were taught actually is wrong, and by doing quite the opposite, we're better and better and better. And I think that basically, I don't generally think cholesterol is the best measurement for health and wellness. And if you're seeing a healthy person on an annual basis, have we really found that annual health visits make people healthier? Or are we likely simply just adding another diagnosis and a drug in order to benefit? The more diagnoses, the more money comes our way. We lost our good Dr. Vazquez. So Sarah, basically cholesterol, I think the science of cholesterol is wrong. I think we've got it all wrong. We've been driven and directed by a plant-based world to make us weak, meek, sick, and that is it. And I admire all my doctor friends, my vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean friends, but what I've learned from people like Dr. Nelson Vazquez and Lisa Wiedemann and many, many others is that going carnivore is the very best thing that any of us can do. I don't measure this stuff. Her needs. Oh, one question here. 1 second, doctor. Tracy Todd asked about hernias, 5 hernias, two inguinal, hiatal hernia, ventral hernia, umbilical hernia, and can carnivore heal? I think it'll significantly help because I've done it, but I've still had some of my hernias repaired because after 55 years of damage, it's not always easy to heal them, but you'll get much improvement, and some people may heal from it. Go ahead, Dr. Vazquez. Nope. We're muted again. Muted. Let's see. AP, good morning, Dr. Kiltz. Did not eat sugar or carbs when I was pregnant, and my baby never had a cold or fever until he was 1 year old. Drank so much milk. I don't think milk you should be done with once you've stopped breastfeeding. Milk is for babies, not for adults, even adolescents. I'm sorry, it isn't. You just talk, and we'll see if it comes through, Doc.
Can you hear me now?
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Okay. I was saying that hernia is a mechanical or physical anomaly. A hernia, by the way, is an abstract thing because the hernia is the space through which other things protrude, right? When you have an
get out
inguinal
of our
hernia,
belly, right? Go.
when you have a inguinal hernia, they don't remove that lump that's coming through. They just push it back and close the opening. Very simplistic type of viewing it, but that's what happens really. So a hernia needs to be usually repaired, but you can decrease symptoms. You can decrease inflammation, so that all these things may help. When you have reflux, a lot of times is because you have a diaphragmatic or hiatal hernia, and I've had one of those all my life. But I'm off omeprazole and all these antacids, which I use for, I don't know, 35 years probably. That's another one of the things that was reversed.
Melissa Coddington on Kiltz Mighty Tribe. And by the way, everyone's welcome to Kiltz Mighty Tribe. It's for free. At least to the end of the year, we're thinking about making a nominal annual investment in your health and wellness to keep the mission moving more. But electrolytes, I use Malden salt, Redmond salt some. I salt my meat. I probably have the fattiest meat. I do about maybe about 1/3 fat, 1/3 like lean meat, but fat is really important for all of us. So H. pylori, Dr. Nelson, because we used to treat it with H2 blockers and things like that, and then they finally figured out, and many people didn't believe the guy who was figuring it out, that gastric ulcers are caused by H. pylori.
Yeah, I think someone described H. pylori back in either the 30s or the 40s, and then it was completely ignored until the 80s or 90s when everybody started to realize, okay, wait a second, this is causing ulcers. And yes, the famous thing was stress causes ulcers. Stress will affect and increase your chance of ulcers, but the bacterial infection also is very important. So sometimes you have to use antibiotics to clear that out. I am sure that changing your diet will have a tremendous influence on that anyways.
And I mean, eating fat. So butter, I never notice it never molds, never goes bad. I mean, maybe not never, but almost never. And fat lasts a long time. And when you dry age fatty meat, oh my God, the very best thing. But I think adding the fat and carnivore will help tremendously. Let's see, Vera from Chicago, UC Carnivore's father again. Tawny, tried following baby's diet, but since clinic put me on metformin, minoxidil, I stopped, needed to eat carbs due to stomach pains and terrible nausea. I would stop all those things and go on the bacon, eggs, butter, beef, and salt. That's really the best thing in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of metformin and inositol, but again, you don't have to, but yeah, I think that's one of the problems. We give you a drug that makes you want to eat the standard diet, right? All right. Let's see. We can hear you. We can't hear you. We're doing both, going back and forth. It's all good. Dr. Anita Marie Johnson, hello to you. Mia, amazing doc. Looking forward to seeing you at the meetups sometimes. Yeah, we got to get to the we got to get to the meetups. We got to meet it up, right? We may be working on a meetup here in Sarasota coming up on the 28th. I'm working with Scott Everson. So it's really good. Let's see, just kind of scooting through some of these cues. We're getting close to the hour of superpower. Dr. Vazquez, anything else you wanted to add to this beautiful Sunday journey?
I was trying to disconnect to go and I have a piece of paper back here, which is a lab from someone
Well, why don't you, if you want to do
who had a heart attack and his cholesterol numbers were low. Just
that's. I mean, ultimately, I had a high CAC score, and I went and got my CT angiogram. I got my CT angiogram. I got my treadmill test. Everything was fine. But recent book just came out. Why Vegans Have Smaller Brains and How Cows Reverse Climate Change. David Ellis, Allison Morgan, and Anita Tagore. I just started reading it. Really insightful. Bringing about the same stories. Keep telling the stories, but it's again, the sapiens diet. We're Homo sapiens. And what did we eat 50,000 years ago? I have no idea. We probably ate meat though, right?
very likely. Now, if you were back there, let's say you were in a forest, do you know what you can eat? What plant you can eat in a forest? You don't know which one is a poison and one has a lot less poison, right?
Yeah, right.
Maybe if you were in the right season of the year, you find some fruit which were all sour, not as sweet as they are today, because everything in the supermarket has been one way or the other genetically modified to be sweeter. But you did see a deer running around, you knew you can kill it and eat it. So you make up your mind.
But ultimately, we evolved likely hunting and eating raw meat. We didn't eat cooked meat, and you didn't eat a lot of plants because, as you said, right, as you said that, what do we eat? If I go to my yard and cut the grass and saute it and eat it, there's a likely chance I'm ending up in the emergency room. I mean, plants are actually the poisons and they don't want to be eaten. They're live organisms. And so they've done everything they can to prevent you from eating them or cause you to eat them and then make you fertilizer. That is really sort of the end game I see here more than anything. Let's see, 4 months carnivore, then best results I've had from its clear skin, 15 years of acne, could never leave the house without makeup. Finally, for the first time, can go out without makeup. This is HHYUHHGH. There we go. It is quite amazing on the story. And the more people that are doing this, ancient carnivore nutrition. We started farming because we were tired of starving during winter months. Probably so, because we were probably the best hunters of the big beasts, and they were gone. And so it's like, but again, what are you going to eat in the winter? Because you had to figure out how you can store food too, right?
That's how the Indians, Native Americans, came up with making pemmican.
Pemmican, that's right.
Yeah.
Prefers
the meat and the fat.
It's just the meat and the fat, and that's why, like, I just take my ground beef or my beef, I slice it up, dry age it, the very best. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm trying to make Anita's name in Vancouverish area. Keto. Oh my God, it'll come to me. But there's so many great people with great recipes, great ideas. Keep it simple. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Like I don't buy.
Are you talking about ketogenic woman?
Ketogenic woman. Thank you, Anita.
Okay.
Thank you. I knew someone would know this answer, but amazing. So many people out there. Self-discipline. Fasting is discipline, I think. Let's see. Fasting does reduce blood pressure. Again, stop worrying about cholesterol and blood pressure. Carnivore fasting and what about meditation and those type of things, doctor? What are your thoughts on that?
All that helps. Sleep, meditation, relaxation, and there are scientific theories about that, and there is just religious theories about it as well. And calms you down,
Yeah.
makes you focus on things. Uh, if you don't believe it, try it.
Yeah, it's sort of like we've been brainwashed with a belief system that isn't true. We're lions through and through. Last I looked, lions aren't like keeping a lunch pail carrying it around all day long, nor a water bottle. And I think these are some of the practices that we've got all wrong, right? Let's see. Sunseeker Travel coming soon to book lots of carnivore trips. So go to Carnivore Doctor Lisa Wiedemann to schedule a carnivore cruise health and wellness trip. Night 56. Lindsay, let's see. Michael Keene, Dr. Vazquez, Liz Kiltz, thank you for all helping me become healthier for the first time in my life. Bless you. And Michael Keene's daughter, I think, had just graduated either residency, I think, or she's going to. Again, the modern health system needs more keto, carnivore, and faithivores to share and help kind of change the system. We got to change the system, right?
And if you want more formal education on this, I'll put a link on my YouTube channel. Nutrition Network and the Society of Metabolic Health Practitioners have plenty of education to share with you.
Yeah.
You can become a metabolic health practitioner if you want. You can become a coach. You don't have to do anything formal to share these things, but if you want it,
you don't need a degree in anything in order. You're a live human being. You're capable of sharing your experiences. That's why all of us should be podcasting and writing and just singing it out loud. Ancient carnivore nutrition, opportunistic. Right? Walking next to an apple tree and not eating it 10,000 years ago would have been stupid. Apples were only available for 1 to 2 weeks a year. But what were apples? What did they look like 10,000 years ago?
very small and probably very sour as well. And
and the majority of plants, the majority of sugars aren't even sweet. This is the amazing part of the story, right? And you can eat some plants, you can eat animals, but the thing you probably want to focus on is eating fatty meat, right? All right. Merry Christmas to all. Where are we at here? Are we I didn't even know what time it's. 11:02, the hour of power. Make sure I got all of our questions. Do different carnivore doctors say different things on cooking or not cooking meat? Melissa Coddington. I mean, I would say most people probably in the carnivore space aren't looking at raw versus cooked. But if you read Ponger's Cats, you might be like, wow, this is kind of interesting. And I did it, and like raw fatty meat. And again, raw fatty meat is the best thing you could eat. Any last minute comments, doctor?
I haven't tried the raw meat. I'm still
not yet.
Dialing it down to rare.
I do black and blue. I do beef tartare and carpaccio. Again,
I do eat the fish raw. I know you don't like to eat much fish, but
I do fish raw sometimes. But I'm just not a big fish fan. Again, if you're not healing on carnivore, look at raw fatty meat. Add butter. Add salt. I mean, those are the things to do here. But Mia, doctor freaking out. Doctors don't know. They don't know. Jammer Travels, beef, butter, bacon, eggs saved my life. Lost 150 pounds. Reverse type 2 diabetes. A1C is now 5.4. Restored eyesight. No longer sleep apnea. 63 years young. Too mad. No fruit. No veggies. No stacking. No way.
By the way, Dr. Lisa's still around. I just bought some
I gotta
readers.
get myself. Look at. I have my blue blockers, but now I got to get the other. I mean, it's always changing.
So I just bought some readers that are down to minus 1.0. But I was using 2 and 175, and now I had to buy less powerful.
Lisa,
Is it because of the carnivore diet? I don't know, but I'm
Lisa,
going the other way.
I was going to say, Lisa, you look so wonderful. Oh, you know, it doesn't fix everything, but it certainly makes everything better for sure on carnivore. I just want to touch everyone real quick, make sure everyone got up and online with us. Locations, Marbury Zoo stuff, United Carnivore. The obstacles are the gateway, right, to new beginnings. Let's see. Life is a dream. Thank you, doctor, for stopping in. Thank you for Lisa Wiedemann for stopping in. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in. The
Mark,
hour.
any age is okay.
What's that?
I said Mark.
Oh,
This any age is okay.
Oh, yeah. And we need to be inspiring our medical communities to be doing carnivore or at least ketovore for our brothers and sisters at all ages around the globe. And don't believe me, because the only way to know this is to do it and go for them. My blessings to everyone. Happy holidays. I will maybe see you next Sunday. I don't know. I think, where am I at next Sunday? I think, yeah, I'll be around next Sunday.
So you mentioned the 28th. Are you doing a meetup on the 28th?
I think we're going to do a meetup in Sarasota with Scott Everson. So I'll send some stuff out there and see if we can get some people to join us. How about that? If you're around,
okay.
You know, you're 3 hours away.
About a little bit, probably a little bit. No, about 3 hours. About 3 hours.
All right.
I used to work in Bradenton.
Oh, okay. And so you would drive over to work there, right?
No, well, I did, but I would stay over because I was working. I was the medical director for an office there, but so I would go one or twice a week.
Yeah.
And just stay overnight and then come home.
Got it. All right. So be well, everyone. And that's my last words for the team.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, all. Thank you, Doc. I'll let you know. Bye.